everyone, it's Anthony back with another video. Today, or this evening, I am going to be walking you through my PM routine for a Get Unready With Me video. It's been quite some time since I've done an unready or unready video. I think the last one was for April, I want to say. So I, for a while, was doing them seasonally, so I was like trying to do like a summer and fall one. And then for a while there, I was trying to do them every single month. And then, just a bunch of different things happened. And for some reason, I just kind of stopped filming those types of videos, even though I really, really like doing them. So I'm back. I think I'm going to probably stick to a seasonal format or throw one in randomly, kind of like this when I have a lot of changes to my current routine. So I'm in a place right now where I have quite a few new products that have made their way into my routine in the past couple of weeks, whether that be because I ran out of something or the main reason why there's so much new is I had a lot of products that I was using and didn't really fall in love with them, but I have a lot of stuff in my stash. So I was like, I'm gonna set this half empty bottle of whatever it might be aside for a friend or family member, or to give away to someone that wants to give it a try, and let me move on to something else rather than kind of just pushing through another month or 2 months with a product that's kind of so I ended up swapping a lot of things out, and so far so good. Skin hasn't really been reacting to a lot of this change, which is awesome to see, and there's a few products that I have had for a while. So we're gonna talk about all of them, but yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into what I have going on in my PM routine right now. Starting with my oil cleanser, I am using the Pacific Fresh Herb Origin Cleansing Oil, and this is in little parentheses, it's got jasmine there. So this is, I think, one of maybe a couple different cleansing oils that Pacific carries. I purchased this not really being too familiar with the brand. I picked it up on Joel's, along with their fresh herb. They've got a serum and a couple other products. So and they had a really big sale on this brand. This was towards the beginning of the year. So I ended up picking up quite a few Pacific products. You can probably find everything I picked up from the unboxing video that I did around that time. But yeah, they focus on, it looks like they have several different lines. Some are focused on brightening, some are more hydrating. And let me grab the box for this one. I don't believe there was like a ton of information. Yeah, I need to do some more research on it because there's not a lot of English on this packaging itself. However, it does contain sunflower seed oil, olive oil, jojoba. It's got the emulsifiers to kind of, allow the cleansing oil to break up and emulsify. And fragrance is at the bottom, so that's what I'll mention when we get to this. So it's a super lightweight cleansing fluid. It's a little bit more watery than I'm used to seeing. I've been using it for a few days now, and I found that I do need a pretty substantial amount I have a big head, but to really break everything up, especially right now because I'm using a pretty heavy mineral-based sunscreen that just kind of takes a lot of work to get off. So we're gonna do 2 pumps and then we'll see how we feel after that. So just 2 pumps in the hands and massage it in, and you should be able to see right away that sunscreen, that mineral sunscreen, starting to break up. Feels really nice and lightweight on the skin, and it just slips and slides really nicely too, which I love. And yeah, it's just, you don't have to do apply a lot of pressure to get it to break stuff up. You just kind of glide your hands around and it does a really nice job. It doesn't sting the eyes, but it can cause a little bit of blurriness if you get it directly in your eye. But I've been lucky enough that even getting it like nice and close to my eye area to get rid of the sunscreen hasn't been that much of an issue. So, first impressions, granted, this is, I think, the fourth third or fourth time I've used it, are positive. And we'll get to the rinsing. My only initial complaint is that fragrance. I actually don't mind synthetic fragrance or fragrance that isn't based in essential oils. I don't mind it. In fact, if I had to pick, I guess I would pick that over essential oil-based fragrances. I don't know. I guess I'll take it all. It just depends on the product and the formulation. But I tend not to react to synthetic fragrance as much as I can sometimes react to essential oils. But anyway, the scent is not great. All that being said, the fragrance that they did pick it's not my favorite. It is a very intense, we'll start there, very strong floral / clean / cottony, like if you had a car scent that was called like fresh linen, this would be it. It's just like very strong. I don't know what exactly they were going for with it, but I don't like it. And that's just a personal preference. I wish it didn't have that scent because I like the product for what it does, and the results I'm seeing. Granted, just for the first few times I've been using it, but happy so far. It's just the scent. I could totally see it as being a reason why I wouldn't come back to it. So kind of a bummer, but I'm gonna keep using it because my skin seems to be responding well to it. I like what it's doing. So I see myself getting through this whole bottle just fine. I would just prefer a different scent or no scent at all. So that's it, nice and massaged in, broke up all that sunscreen. So we're just gonna warm up some water real quick and rinse. I'll probably just speed through this. I did want to show you what it looks like when it's being emulsified, so let's just do that real quick. I was just warming up the water. But yeah, you can see that it emulsifies just fine. Kind of becomes that milky, white consistency. Just pulling all that sunscreen, excess oil, and sebum from the day, all that's coming right off. So let me just finish rinsing. So, one thing that I have noticed, and this isn't necessarily an issue with this oil cleanser, although it might be, but this mineral sunscreen that I'm using, which I love this sunscreen, by the way. It's one of the first mineral sunscreens that actually works for me. After I've applied so many layers throughout the day and I'm not getting the oil cleanser like in my eye, you can see that right along kind of my eyelid, there's that white streak from where the sunscreen has kind of like settled. And that might also be from me like rubbing it kind of gathered. So I've had to use a cleansing water or a micellar water just to get rid of that last little bit. So let me grab that. And the one I'm using right now is from a brand called Essen Herb. It's their tea tree cleansing water. I got this as part of a Face Story subscription, or it came in the Face Story subscription box, one of their boxes. And so I typically I've been using a cleansing water in the AM instead of like either in addition to a water-based cleanser or instead of when I just want something like a light cleanse, I'll just wipe down with this and then rinse. But other than that, I've been using it the past few days just to remove that excess sunscreen from my eye. So I just kind of press and hold and then gently wipe away, and it seems to take care of it all. But yeah, I'm not a makeup wearer, and so I've never had to do anything like this. So the first time I saw that sunscreen kind of gather on my eyelids, I was like, oh my God, what do I do? Like, clearly there's a problem with one of the products I'm using isn't thorough enough. But I think that mineral sunscreen and the fact that, throughout the day I'm applying it every 2 hours, and with it being daylight, for most of the day during the summer months here in Colorado, I end up with sometimes 4, 5 layers of sunscreen every day, one right on top of the other. So when you're talking about a fairly heavy mineral sunscreen and then multiply that by 4 or 5 times, I think at that point you're pretty much wearing a nice thick layer that takes a lot to get off. So, but like I said, very happy with that sunscreen, and I'm very, I don't see this as being that huge of an issue. I guess it would be similar to taking off eye makeup, I guess. So let me know your thoughts on that. But yeah, so that's kind of my first step cleanse, and then 1.5 cleanse. Maybe I should be doing this first and then this, let me know. But that's that for kind of the oil part of my cleansing. And then I move into my water-based cleanser like I normally would. And right now I am using the 23.5N or 23.5 degree north Rice Soothing Cleansing Foam. This is a Taiwanese brand, and this was actually sent to me by an e-retailer, Glowy Co. Take a look at the unboxing I did for the 23.5N products to get some more breakdown all about Glowy Co. and some breakdown about these products in particular. I got a toner from them and a bunch of wash-off masks, one of which you'll see tonight, and then a moisturizer, which you'll see tonight. The toner I haven't worked into my routine yet, but this is a pump style foam cleanser, so style cleanser. It features rice. It's got, let's take a look. It's got rice bran, I think it is. No, rice extract, panthenol. Yeah, there you go. There's the rice bran extract. It's there as well. It's actually a pretty short ingredients list. It has coconut-based surfactants. I pH tested it. It comes in right at 5.5. So it's a nice pH balanced, gentle cleanser. Pretty classic stuff in here with the claimed benefit of providing some soothing properties. So let's go ahead and get started with that. I'm just gonna dampen my face one more time. Usually I'd go right into the water cleanser so I wouldn't have that lag time, but we're chatting, and right now I'm doing 2 pumps of this, which seems to be more than sufficient. I could probably get away with 1 pump, but I like things extra lathery. It creates a really nice fine bubbles that are pretty dense for a pump style, and I just gently massage that in. I like that the lather seems to stick around for quite some time. Once again, not always the case with these pump style cleansing foams. They usually break down really quickly, but this does a decent job. You can kind of work it into more lather if you'd like. As far as a scent, there really is no scent other than it just kind of having a basic cleanser scent. There's no essential oils in any of the 23.5N products. There's no synthetic fragrance, which, like I said, I don't hate, but it's nice when a product doesn't have them that works. And they don't use any dyes, anything like that. And the ingredients, as much as possible, are actually sourced. So for instance, the rice for these products, sourced from local farms in Taiwan. So they try to keep everything as in-house or as close to home as possible, which is awesome. So that for the water-based cleanser. Once everything kind of breaks down, that's when I'll go in and rinse. All right, so that's that. I'm just gonna pat dry with a towel. I think I did that earlier too, but yeah, I just pat dry with a towel. All right, so I really like that cleanser. I've been using it, let's say for about a week now, maybe just a tad longer. Actually, maybe it hasn't even been a full week. Been using it for between 3 and 7 days. And I really like it. It's a very, very gentle yet thoroughly cleansing, and it leaves my skin feeling soft. It feels like it seems like it has a slight brightening property, just kind of refreshing my skin, but it doesn't strip. It's not harsh. And I feel like it does leave behind enough hydration that I can take a moment before moving into the next steps of my routine. I don't feel like as soon as I pat my skin dry, it's like help, we need the toner, we need for some kind of hydration, which you always want to keep the hydration going in your routine. You don't want to take big gaps after cleansing. But it's nice to know that I'm not like panicked to like grab some kind of mist in my shower or something like that. It feels like it leaves behind some nice hydration. It doesn't feel too stripping. But it's still enough to get all of the excess sunscreen, any excess impurities that maybe my first step cleanser might have left behind, which is nice. So far, very impressed. I had a feeling I would be just from reading the ingredients list. I mentioned it in the unboxing that I did, kind of read through a lot of the ingredients or kind of try to understand the products that Glowico sent to me. So, I tried to pick, and with the help of the founder of Glowico, try to select items that would actually work really well, which makes sense. You want to be purchasing products, in this case I was sent them, but you want to be using stuff that has the best chance of being successful for you. And I had just finished using the Solved Skincare Coconut Water Cleansing Foam, and they seemed really similar in the fact that they use coconut-based surfactants. That one had coconut water, this one uses rice, and it was in the same pump style, and I had such good luck with that product, and this looked kind of in that same realm. So I was like, I think this is gonna be a good one. And so far I'm very pleased. So that's that. Once again, the 23.5N Rice Soothing Cleansing Foam for irritated skin. This is plenty gentle. I think pretty much anyone could use this. So that's that. I'll have full reviews out for those products once I hit the month mark or around there. And then I'm gonna jump in the shower. Let's jump in the shower. No, I'm gonna jump in the shower. I'm gonna jump in the shower, do all that stuff, do the hair stuff, and then when we come back, we'll jump into, we'll jump into one of the actives that I'm using right now. I'm using a couple actually, but we'll jump into actives and then go through the rest of the routine. So I'm just gonna hop in the shower. I'll be back. Bye. All right, I am back, ready to keep moving through this routine. I just showered, did all the hair stuff. I'm actually, I've got all these my hair's getting to this length where some of them are like, hello, but I'm actually a little nervous because I decided to just let my hair grow out. Not sure how long I'm gonna let it grow out, just kind of an indefinite amount of time. But I like to see, I used to have pretty long hair and then consistently have been shaving it bald. I let it get a little shorter than this typically, and then it gets shaved again. So this is the longest it's been probably so far this year, maybe a good portion of last year. Didn't let it get super long. So I'm just gonna let it keep going. I think it was fairly long. Anyway, I'm a little nervous because I invested in one brand for all of my hair care. So shampoo, conditioner, and then I'm using a treatment oil, a leave-in conditioner, and then like a texturizing paste. And it all comes from one brand. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm nervous because I'm gonna be doing a brand hair care review. And it's just, I've occasionally sprinkled in hair care reviews in my blog, like I did. There's a brand called M British or British M. It's a K-beauty or Korean hair care brand, and I reviewed their texture paste way back. I also did L'Adore, which is another Korean brand. I reviewed one of their shampoos that was carried on Soko Glam, once again way back. So they're very sporadic when I do my hair reviews because most of the time I don't have hair, and I'm not super versed in it. I worked at a salon that carried a ton of hair care brands and some skincare brands. And I was the manager of the retail side. So I knew a lot of the buzzwords, but this was 10, 11, 12 years ago. So back then I was just teaching people about sulfate free and what it meant and stuff. And even my own knowledge as far as why is this shampoo volumizing and this one is good for curls? Like what's in these formulations that sets them apart? I didn't really know any of that. I would just try the product and speak to my results, but I didn't know like this ingredient correlates to this happening or anything like that. So I'm not very versed in it. It's gonna be like a review like very surface level. So that's why I'm a little nervous because I can't really, I'm gonna have to do some research and look into it. But so far I'm happy with it. My hair feels very soft, very nourished. Like I said, I have a lot of these little fuzzy flyaways. Just for my hair getting to this length, it doesn't like to lay down. So, ooh, I almost showed you what I'm using. I want to save it for when I do the review, but this is one of the products. This is the leave-in conditioner. So I usually just put that in and it helps to kind of tame those down. Or I can just go up with everything and then it's like, oh, okay, that's the look. But I usually try to keep everything fairly flat. And yeah, it takes some extra product to get that to happen. But if you kind of sneak peek up, if you can tell just by that little, then you win a prize. Make sure to comment if you know what that was. But yeah, another hint is one of the main reasons why I kind of fell in love with this brand, or why I decided to go all in, is because I got their oil, their hair oil, and it smelled incredible. So I was like, I'm getting the rest of like what I think my hair might need. So that was we're just gonna go up. That was the leave-in and the shampoo and the conditioner and then one styling product. Like I keep it pretty simple with this hair. As my hair gets longer, it starts to get really curly. So I may have to change up my approach, but for now, that's what I'm doing. So anyway, sneak peek. Just drying my hands, teaser at what's going on up here. But let's get back to the skincare. And I have two actives that I'm using right now. I'm actually using the Stridex pads, the Maximum, and I'm also using my Curology. So I just posted a review fairly recently about the Stridex pads, and it was a product that I ran across on Amazon. I was like, I totally kind of forgot those existed. And I was like, let me look at the ingredients, because I haven't used these. I think I used them maybe one time in like sophomore year of high school. So I was like, let me take a look at these. They're alcohol free. It's basically just 2% salicylic acid and some fragrance in the form of, I think there's synthetic fragrance in here and menthol. And then you also have, there is a surfactant in here, which I think is really just to create this kind of slight foamy kind of bubble texture on the pad, and sometimes you can see that on your face. I don't know what other reason it would be there other than just to be like, ooh, it's doing something, which fine, but I wouldn't mind just literally the salicylic acid on a pad with like some glycerin or something, or just some water. But it's just a pad that's got some embossed pieces, and they're pretty soaked. I could probably get away with cutting this in half and applying it. But I saw them on Amazon. The ingredients list looks surprisingly good. In my head, I thought they were some sort of like incredibly harsh, packed full of denatured alcohol and lava. Like, I don't know, in my head, I remember all the stuff I used when I was younger as just being so astringent and stripping and drying. But these just feel like a BHA toner that I applied, and then I just kind of pat it in, and that's that. And I've been using them for a little over a month, and they really have helped to keep some of the larger blemishes at bay. I still have, like, these two guys here are fairly recent, and then this part of my forehead has just been kind of sprouting with blemishes, but I think it's because I have been wearing my sun hat a lot, and I've been frequenting the rock climbing gym again, safely. They have a reservation system and all that, but so I've been sweating a lot more, and I think that's what's causing these top of head issues. I need to be better about bringing stuff to the gym to kind of clean up afterwards. They don't have the locker rooms open, but I could go to my car and wipe down. Right now, I've just been waiting till I get home, and that's, a good 30 minutes of all that sweat and the sunscreen mixing together, and then it just dries on my face. It's probably not very smart. So I think that'll clear up once I manage my workouts better and how I take care of my skin afterwards. But these have been great at helping to kind of reduce that. I do get a little bit of tingling, especially a day or two after I've shaved my face. But other than that, they're just fine. And I think they would be a good alternative to maybe if you're traveling to let go of your 2% BHA toner, like maybe the Paula's Choice one would be a good comparison to this liquid, although I don't think that has fragrance or anything. I don't really remember. Or like the Coaster X BHA Power Liquid. This is kind of like the pad version of those things, kind of in the same realm. And they're very affordable. I got these on Amazon, I think for $6 or $7. So yeah, alcohol-free, a product that I kind of forgot existed or associated with like really harsh products, but it seems legit to me and I like it, so I'm using those. And then I go right in with my Curology. My prescription is clindamycin 1%, tretinoin 0.01%, very low, and then azelaic acid 4%. So another reason why I like the Stridex pads, it's BHA only. It doesn't have glycolic acid or lactic acid, which are an AHA, which I'm getting from my azelaic acid. So that's why I kind of liked having them be kind of a single ingredient forward product. So anywho, I go right in with this, but I wouldn't recommend that for people that are just starting with Curology or are thinking about adding other acids in addition to their tretinoin or what, you know, all those combos. I started by only using this for about 5 weeks, maybe even 6 weeks by itself. It was later on in my routine. It wasn't right after cleansing. And then I tried incorporating these just, I think, twice a week just to see. And then over the course of the past 3.5, 4 weeks, I've moved it into a nightly thing. So I really kept this isolated to make sure my skin was reasonably adjusted. I don't have dry patches or irritation anymore. And then my BHA slowly crept in and now they're right together, when before they were by themselves or just this. And then I was also, when I first started these, I was using these in the AM and then Curology at night. But now I've just slapped them together because my skin seems to be able to handle it. So I'll keep an eye on it, of course. And if I do notice any overexfoliation, excess irritation, then I'll definitely scale it back or even get rid of the BHA. So, all right, there is my Curology. I did 1 pump and then I divide it between 2 fingers. I start at the jawline. That's where I have a lot of hyperpigmentation and clogged pores and just issues from shaving. Oh, you can see that guy. He's angry. Or she, or neither, and either, or both. All right, so just dabbing that on my whole face and then massaging it in. You've seen me use this before. So yeah, it's been, I think, a little bit over 2 months with Curology now, and so far I'm really happy. There was this like sweet spot with Curology. It was like probably the 5-week mark, maybe a little bit earlier than that, where all the irritation and dry, flaky patches kind of went away. And my skin was just like, yes, 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 looking awesome, like so happy. And now I've kind of, and also my hyperpigmentation had really faded on my neck. It still faded quite significantly. But I think maybe with summer and me being outdoors and active, even though I typically have my mask on, or it's at least around my neck, that the hyperpigmentation has been getting a little bit more dark on my jawline than it was when I was seeing like perfect results from Curology. And then also, like I said, these little breakouts are popping up when before my skin was like clear, nothing going on, pores looked great. But I think, like I said, some of that has to do with just adjusting for the season, and I'm trying to be more active, which I'm always having that battle. And just changing up products. I know some of the sunscreens that I have been using recently, not that mineral one, but some sunscreen products that I had been using fairly recently were causing my face to react. And so I think I'm still kind of recovering from that as well. So a lot of different things. I ended up changing my Curology prescription, so the next one that I'll be getting bumps the tretinoin up to 0.018. So just to like, I mean, it's almost double what I'm using now, but I'm using so little that it's just like, yeah. And then the azelaic acid's getting bumped up a couple percents too. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, enough about my chemical exfoliants or my actives step. We're gonna move on to toner. And the toner that I'm using right now is from Solved Skincare. It's their coconut water and hibiscus, coconut water, hibiscus plus rosehip toner. So this product contains, I believe it's 75% coconut water. I've got the box here, yeah. It's also got hibiscus flower extract, rosehip extract. It's actually got the pieces of hibiscus flower in there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see those. I just love that look of actually having the fresh ingredient there in the product, or the featured ingredient there in the product. It's a really simple formula. There's no artificial dyes or anything. That's just the natural color from the ingredients as well. And it's free of synthetic fragrance, no essential oils. It's a very clean product. I just put about just a splash, probably like 5 or 6 drops in my hand, and then I just kind of pat/massage it in. Even without the added fragrance, it smells like an herbal tea, like maybe like a hibiscus tea. And it also has this slightly sweet kind of honey scent, which I don't know what that comes from because it doesn't have honey in it. It might just be from, I don't know, maybe from a fermentation process somewhere in here. But it has this kind of sweet kind of honey scent. So it's almost like a sweet tea, but with like kind of a mild floral like note to it. It's just very nice. I typically do 2 layers of this and just kind of press and pat it in. And this provides so much hydration. Once again, there's no shea butter, there's no jojoba oil, there's nothing like that, but they formulated it in a way that it just provides a lot. Also, there's no, I don't even think there's like, let me see. Yeah, no sodium hyaluronate, no polyglumatic acid, none of that's in here, and yet it still provides I'm going for a 3rd layer, a really nice amount of hydration, and it almost feels like a light serum. Like it has this like nourishing quality to it, and that hydration just kind of holds to the skin. You'd think something so basic or simple, you put it on and be like, evaporated, but it just holds to the skin. It gives that nice kind of like sheen or glow, and it just feels great. It smells great. It performs really well. It's a clean formula, or clean is such an abstract. It just depends on what you call clean or natural, but it's simple. It's kind of a stripped down ingredients list. I think there's like maybe 10 ingredients in here max. And yeah, it just feels great. I've been using it for almost a month. I think I'm a week away from being all the way done, but because I don't have to do a full 7 skins to get this nice, like plump hydrated feel, I only do a couple layers. It's gonna last a long time, which is awesome. So I don't know, I was pretty much blown away with everything from Solved Skincare. I did a review of their coconut oil cleansing pads and their coconut water cleansing foam already. Both of those products I had excellent things to say about. The coconut oil cleansing pads in particular I think there's 3 ingredients. They smell incredible. They work great. They offer a mild physical exfoliation. So I think those are my new go-to first step cleansing pads, or first step cleanser. They're kind of my all-time favorite of this year so far. And the cleansing foam was also very good. So yeah, Solved Skincare. I'm very happy. I'll link all the stuff below. But anyway, essence time. We're moving in to something that I just started recently, and you'll tell by how little is out of it. This is the IOPay Bio-Intensive Essence Skin Conditioning. This is an essence product that is very kind of classic. I think this is one of the products that is often mentioned as like one of the top essences or one of the best first treatment essences or essences in general. It's all about fermented ingredients. So Saccharomyces ferment filtrate, Saccharomyces ferment. You've also got camellia leaf extract in here, some caffeine, cholesterol, and then you've also got just some like preservatives, those types of things. Niacinamide is in here as well. So it's one of those classic essences that I've seen pop up a lot on various videos and reviews. It's usually mentioned alongside like the Misha First Treatment Essence and Secret Key. Other ones that are, I would assume, are similar are like the Neogen Real Ferment Essence, which I really liked. So fermented ingredients used for hydration and brightening, and that's kind of all it's about. And so it's been a while since I've used this type of essence. I've been using a lot of like hydrating essences, but not these like powerhouse brightening essences. So I was really excited to get back to it. And yeah, it seems like it's a pretty straightforward formula. I don't think there's any added fragrance in this one either, which is nice. So I've just been putting a few drops in my hand, probably about 6 or 7 drops. It's not totally watery like some other first treatment essences. It's got a little bit of weight to it, and that's why I ended up putting it after my toner. And so once again, pat, pat, pat. Pat, gently massage it in. No scent whatsoever. It's just there. And I think this is only the second time that I've been applying it, and I like it. It's hydrating. It seems to absorb really nicely. It enhances that kind of glow that the toner left behind, which is nice. And yeah, I'll see, over time, hopefully I'll start to see some evening of my skin tone, maybe some reduction of hyperpigmentation and just general day-to-day brightening is what I'm hoping to get out of it. But it's one of those products, like I said, it's just kind of that classic product. What's funny is they have a little marking on here that's like how much you should be at every day, and then this whole bottle should last you a month. I've used it for 2 days and I haven't even hit the start of day 1 technically. So I think, if I am supposed to use that much, that seems like a lot. We'll see. I'm gonna play around with it, but yeah, I just don't imagine using that much product in a single day, but we'll see. I've been using it twice a day too, so yeah, just a classic product, brighter, smoother, and healthier looking complexion. I think I was watching a video from Eunice, and she was talking about this, and I guess she had asked the employee, like, out of all the IOPay products or everything in the store, what's the one product that employees come back to and they just stock up on, and they said it was this essence. So I'm looking forward to seeing some results from this. And then moving on to my serum. My serum right now is from a brand called The Plant Base, and it's their K-Sera ceramide, which just makes me think of K-Sera, Sera. Like, that's what every time. But this is a serum that is focused on skin repairing and skin barrier supporting with the ceramides. So ceramides come from rice extract or rice bran proteins, and that is the main ingredient in this product. It's a very interesting dropper. It's got the little top that you push down, so you just boop, and it just kind of dispenses that perfect amount of serum. And this one is also, I think I'm 2 weeks into this, and I think my skin, if there's anything in this routine that my skin might be reacting to in a not so great way, I think it might be this serum. And it's not like drastic. The reason I say that is there is quite a significant amount of essential oils, and my skin, especially recently, has just been reacting not that great to products that are heavy in the essential oils. Not that they cause a lot of breakouts, but the blemishes that do pop up either from exercise or from wearing my hat, they just seem aggravated anytime I throw a bunch of lavender oil or eucalyptus or stuff on them. They just seem to kind of get a little pissy. And it doesn't last super long. By the morning, everything's calmed down, or if I use this in the AM, after like 30 minutes or so, or even less, things calm down. But products high in essential oils, at least for me at this stage with my skin, I put them on and my skin's like, ah, okay, we're fine. So I don't know if continually doing that is the best idea for my skin, like constantly kind of getting it angry for a short period of time. So it's fine. It seems to help retain moisture as it's supposed to do. The ceramides help to lock in moisture. They're kind of the building blocks of our skin to keep our skin barrier healthy. So it does feel like it's helping to support my skin and its resiliency against doing this kind of thing to it. It seems to be doing its job in the couple weeks that I've been using it. Makes my skin feel really nice and smooth. And what's funny is all those essential oils equate to a really nothing scent. It just doesn't, it smells like just skincare, which is, maybe that's what they were going for. But yeah, and according to the box, skin protection, moisture retention, strengthening, I think it does check off all those boxes. My skin does feel like it holds on to moisture really well right now. I don't know if that's a good enough reason to continue the potential risk. Maybe I'm gonna push through, I think, unless something really crazy happens with my skin, but it makes me almost think like, should I set this aside and wait till my skin is like a lot more balanced as far as breakouts? Maybe work in the new Curology, get adjusted to that, have that calm down, and then come back to this maybe at the end of the year or something like that. But for now, it's okay. I do want to review it. It's something that I got as a free gift with purchase from Soko Glam, so I don't have a lot of money invested into it either. But I love the packaging. I like that little pop top, and then you can pump the product. I like how it dispenses. I'm proceeding with caution, we'll just say that. But absorbs nicely, feels fine. It's kind of like a lightweight serum with a little creaminess. So I don't hate it, but I'm gonna be careful. And then the last couple products we have we're gonna use as a combo. And that is, they're both from the brand 23.5 Degrees North, or 23.5N. It's their Rice Soothing Active Moisturizer, and then their Oriental Beauty Tea Balancing Gel Mask. So this is a really highly concentrated rice-based gel style moisturizer. So heavy in the ceramides, it's got rice ferment filtrate, so sake, rice extract, it's got wild yam root, shea butter in here as well, sodium hyaluronate. So it's just a super lightweight gel style moisturizer. I've been using this one for let's say 5 days. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is pretty new to my routine. And it's very interesting. I have been just loving using this because they don't use any essential oils, no added fragrance. You can smell those rice-based ingredients, and it just smells like when I brew beer, having all of the grain, and you have the grain and the hot water and your barley all in a big container, and that's called your like mash, and then the stuff that comes off of it, the water, you filter it through, and that's called your wort. And that's what is that sugary, grainy liquid that you add yeast to. The yeast eats it, converts it to sugar, or converts the sugar to alcohol. That's how you get beer. So that wort and that mash of like oats and wheat and barley, all those different mixes to make your beer, that's what this smells like. It has this like fermenting kind of brewing style scent. It's kind of like earthy and grainy, and I freaking love it. It's so good. It reminds me of like going to a brewery and that like smell that's in the air, which I don't know if everyone loves that, but I love it. Anyway, so enough swooning over the smell. I really like it so far. It's got this like jelly, it almost kind of has like a Vaseline texture, but it doesn't go on like that. It goes on like a watery serum almost. And it's got the shea butter in it. It's got the ceramides to once again lock in hydration. They're using the rice just like they use it in the cleanser for soothing, but you should also probably see some brightening, especially from the fermented rice from the sake, you should see some brightening from it, and you should also probably see some like reduction of hyperpigmentation, that type of thing. So I put a pretty healthy amount on because it is super lightweight, and my skin tends to kind of drink it up in the nighttime. In the AM, I might go a little bit lighter because I'm going over it with sunscreen. But in the PM, I go a little bit heavier, and it just soaks right in. It feels super lightweight. I could see those with oily skin really liking this. Those with dry skin who like the butters and the heavier balms and creams probably will find that this isn't enough for them. They might have to layer something on top. And then I finish with the Oriental Beauty Tea Balancing Gel Mask, which also has an excellent smell. It just smells like iced tea, or a nice cup of tea. And I use just a tiny amount of this. It can be used as a wash-off mask, which I've used it in that way, or it can be used as an overnight mask. So just a tiny amount, just about that much. Look at how pretty it is, and it's got the little bubbles in it. And this one's specifically for oil control and sebum production. And I am a pretty oily person. I'm kind of a combination, but at night, especially in the summer, my skin gets kind of oily and sweaty. And I've only used this a few nights as an overnight and not as a wash off, but I've been waking up with skin that just feels a little bit more controlled. I don't want to say matte or dry, it just feels kind of normalized. So I'm hoping that this gel mask can kind of help to regulate sebum production. I only have this little sample size, but I'm probably gonna pick up the full size so I can keep going with it. But yeah, as a night mask, it's great. As a wash-off mask, it's like a clay mask light is what I wanna call it. It doesn't, you can't see spots of oil, it doesn't suck stuff out, but it creates this kind of corset effect, and it does dry down to the point that it feels like it is picking up some excess oil and sebum and helping to kind of clarify the skin. It reminds me a lot of, but although not quite as intense, there was a mask that I used last year, the year before, called, maybe it was like early last year. It was called the Skin 1007, and it was their like zombie mask, I think, but it dries really tight and starts to kind of crack and just gives you this crazy look, but it's very, very like corset effect, constricting, supposed to help tighten the skin. There was a bigger brand called Hana Cure that I think Skin 1007 was like kind of playing off of. But this mask, when I put it on freshly cleansed skin in a thick layer as a wash-off mask, it does kind of the same thing, but not as intense. It's just this kind of light corset effect, but I think it's more about clarifying and less about tightening. So yeah, very interesting. It doesn't get tight or corsety when I put it right on top of the moisturizer. It keeps it fluid and broken down enough that it just soaks in and it feels like nothing. It just feels like I put the moisturizer on. So it's just like this booster to your night if you decide to use it as a night cream or a night gel. So that's that. That is my entire nighttime routine. I am so excited to have been able to finally get this all down and share it all with you, or get it all recorded, because it's been so long and I've been using a lot of products that I've been loving, and a lot of products like the IOPay that are just classics that they've been sitting in my stash for months and months, and I'm like, it's time to like get some real powerhouse products back in your routine. And I also wanted to start sharing my first impressions about the 23.5 Degree North brand, because this is the first time that I've collaborated or partnered with an e-retailer and been sent products. It's kind of like this milestone for me to, and I'm sure there's people out there with way more followers and stuff that get sent boxes and boxes of free product every single day. But it was so cool to partner with Glowy Co, because Annie, the founder, just was like super personalized with like helping me select products, and just so easy to communicate with. And so this goal that I achieved also wanted to achieve, of like partnering with a retailer seemed kind of scary, and I was worried about like, okay, like what if you're obligated to love everything they send you, or what if there's all these weird like strings attached and you end up having to turn it down, or like there was this nervous piece to it as well, but it wasn't at all like that. I'm so happy to have this opportunity to try out some products, and the plus side is I'm liking them all. So yeah, anyway, so that's that. Let me know if you have any questions about any of these products. I'm gonna link everything for you below. And yeah, I'll do an updated get ready with me AM routine here in the next few days, week or so I can talk about some of the sunscreens that I'm using and really liking. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay glowing. Bye.